Coach Rye here. Today, we're going to look at a bikini class open and look at our top 4 competitors in this group. This class does contain my client here, Morgan. She won actually this class, several others, and almost won the overall. So I'm going to be able to give you a little bit more in-depth insight into actual coaching strategies behind the look and behind the placings. And then we'll look at a few others in this group here and kind of talk about how that all shaped out and where Bikini is heading right now, going into 2026 season as this season kind of wraps up, which, by the way, if you're not prepared yet, now's the time to be getting ready for, that 2026 season. Okay, so here we have Morgan. She wants to win this class. It was her first competition ever. And, she won pretty much everything aside from the overall. She was right there in the overall second, actually. So very, very exciting. Over here, we have Amanda. She took second in this group. And then we have Megan over here in third. So, again, this is pretty typical stuff that you're going to see on bikini stages. Everybody is supposed to have an hourglass shape, right? So Morgan has that look really 100%. We see Amanda has it as well. And we see that also Megan has it. Now, the way that they all exemplify it is quite a bit different. So let's talk about it. So for Morgan, good overall shoulder shape, and size really brings out that upper body there in that look, that fullness, that shape, that density. Also, interesting note, she did this entire prep as a carnivore, right? So this means 0 carbohydrates in the diet, only eating meat, animal products. So it was very fun to coach that and bring that through to stage. And, I think it's been an overall great look, but definitely interesting factor because there's probably only a handful of carnivore competitors on stages these days. And I've coached a lot of them. All right. So that's pretty interesting. But she's got that good shoulder, density, fullness there. One of the things that we were always aiming on is not overdoing the bicep and tricep on her. And, that would, again, allow the shoulders to showcase a little bit more. Midsection wise, everything tapers in very, very well. We trained a lot to get the narrow waist. She was doing even extra, waist work and things like that to try to pull this in even more beyond just the programming I had her doing. Now, lower body wise, good overall glute shape and structure, good balance between the hamstrings and the quads. Everything was there. The upper glute, showcasing pretty well here. Future forward, the things I would focus on would be definitely adding more density to the glutes, more of that upper glute. That was looking a little bit depleted here on comp day. She made a lot of improvements, but again, that's, part of the journey. For her first competition, things you have to work on. That's longevity wise what I would continue to do, and balance out the quads, the hamstrings a bit more as well to match that. And, keep an eye on the shoulders. And make sure the bicep and tricep don't get too much. Also pull in just the waist just a little bit more, right? The more dramatic of an hourglass shape you can get, the better you're going to place. These are the things we work on, right? So those, just more notes. I want to give you all notes. Since I coach, Morgan for this, I'm able to give you exactly a little bit more insight there, which I think is helpful. If you like that, comment. I'll feature more of my athletes on the channel. I don't do it all the time because I don't want, you're not coming here for Coach Rye's highlight reel, but if you want more of my athletes on the channel, let me know. Okay, now looking over at Amanda. So what we can see here, good overall shoulder shape and development, tapers in at the midsection pretty well. Lower body-wise, we do see good glute structure, quads, hamstrings, everything there coming together. Biggest difference I see, one, is posing, right? When you pose like this, you square out your waist a little bit more. It takes away from as dramatic of an hourglass look as you could get if you didn't do that, right? So posing is one of those variables, one of those things, especially, you always want to be working on that, drawing that in, making sure you're showing your best angles. And, maybe this is the pose of choice that she prefers, but, those are the biggest differences there. We see that. Now we can also see there's some other differences as far as, overall development goes and symmetry, right? So her glutes from this position look a little bit more dominant than what her quads are doing. This makes the quads and hamstrings look, a little bit smaller side compared to what's going on here. So it's not that perfect symmetry, that perfect balance, what we could be aiming for there, in that shot. So again, very good look overall. Pulls it together. Second, that's great. But those are the biggest differences I see as far as that goes. Also, conditioning wise, she's pretty much on point at the same point there as Morgan. So interesting to see how these just little things, right, make the biggest differences on stage. And that's what a lot of competitors overlook. You got to have everything, all parts of it. It can't just be one. It's got to be all of it, right? So now looking at Megan over here. So Megan, she's got good overall shoulder shape, tapers in pretty well, good balance between the glutes, quads, hamstrings, everything's there. Definitely showcasing a lot leaner. Okay, so she's very lean. We can see that through the midsection with the obliques and the abdominals and, some separations in the quads and the glutes and in the upper body. So she's showcasing leaner than Bikini has been going. Bikini is very much about fullness right now, and that's continuing. I'm seeing that shift every single day right now with athletes that I have on stage every weekend. I'm seeing it, right? I'm seeing it play out on stage as softer athletes, more filled out athletes are doing better and better, and the leaner, more shredded, depleted ones doing worse and worse, right? So that's not necessarily the case for how everything boils down here, but Megan is definitely showcasing a bit leaner, which, can bring out a little bit more of a depleted look. Shoulders don't look as full as they could. Glutes don't look as full as they could. I mean, she still has really great shape, really, a lot of good look there. A lot of times these types of looks are going to get told to soften up, add a little bit more muscle because, they start to edge a little bit too lean, a little bit more of a depleted look. It's not going to be what's necessarily favored as you go through. If you need help, come do my free coaching trial. Free trial experience. You can be talking to me in my training platform. Same one I train all my athletes in. And you get to train with me free for 7 days. So don't miss out on this. Type it in. This is going to go away. We're going to get rid of it soon. teamfflex.com/7-day trial. And literally, it takes 30 seconds to sign up. You can get training splits from me, feedback on your physique, help with whatever you need nutrition-wise, posing, all of it. Ask me any questions on the planet, even the ones you're afraid to ask your coach. I'm here to do it, and it's free. No credit card info goes in. You don't get automatically charged at the end of it like those, apps in the App Store and stuff like that. It's none of that. It's just a free experience. I like to help the bodybuilding world. I get to make my career here. I'm very happy to do that, and I would love to help you. So check this out, teamfflex.com/7-day trial. Don't miss out, okay? Going from the back now. So again, we have Morgan, Amanda, and we have Megan, okay? So pretty similar looks, but pretty different looks in different ways. And what I mean by similar is everybody showcases, the hourglass shape that you have to have in this division. That's going to showcase through pretty well for everybody. The way it presents is a little bit different. So Morgan, again, remember I said I would, work to kind of bring down the arms a bit, and that's what we've been working on at that point in time. That's what I would continue to do at this point, right? A little bit more of that arm downsizing, the shoulder fullness and everything was really good. She's one that I always had to watch on her traps to make sure they don't get too much, but still showcase a good taper overall, good look. Lower body-wise, good glute structure here. The tie-in came through just as it should. Soft separation between the glute and hamstring tie-in. Good balance between the quads and the hamstrings. Main point, again, would be working the upper glute, bringing out that upper glute more, which that's, something we were working on the entire time and will continue to do so. So that's, again, pretty complete look. Then very filled out, a lot of fullness, carnivore athlete, go figure, no carbs. So pretty exciting stuff. Now looking over here at Amanda, she has good overall shape here, tapers in pretty well. Looking at the lower body, again, her legs, they're not showcasing as much muscle. They look a little bit under, maybe add a little more hamstring, a little more quad, more of that upper glute, overall glute, pull this tie in through just a little bit more. These are the biggest differences that make, those differences in placings on stage. And Megan, again, very lean, showcasing super lean. We can see a lot of, spinal erectors, everything here, and that just brings a more of a depleted look. So she still has good glute structure, good tie-in coming through, but the legs, the quads and hamstrings, they don't look filled out. They don't look like they have a lot of muscle because of that depletion effect from coming in too lean. And that does happen to a lot of athletes, especially in bikini division. There's a lot of bikini competitors that are always chasing the shreds, okay? So one more athlete to bring to this group here. This is Sky. And we're going to look over here. She's taken fourth in this lineup. So Sky's got good overall shoulder shape. Instantly, I do notice, though, a little bit more bicep and tricep from her. A little bit of that trap showing through as well. These are small things, but to judges, they're not, okay? Like to you viewers out here, maybe you don't notice those things. I pick those up instantly as a coach who does this for a living, right? And that can make a difference because it can change how your shoulders look, how pronounced, how filled out, how much they present, all of that, right? Still good taper in at the midsection overall. Good shape to the glutes and the quads and the hamstrings. I will say a little bit quad dominant here, definitely showcasing maybe a little bit more of that, density in the quads, but from the front, the shape is pretty good overall. Let's take a look look at the back here. And what we can see, good overall look here, good shoulders, tapers in pretty well. Lower body wise, she has a lot of that good muscle density. Upper glute needs more filling out. This tie-in, not really coming through here much. So that's one of those areas to pull in and focus on more. The hamstrings and everything as well kind of showcase a little bit more of that muscle. She's also, I would say, showing a tad too lean probably in this group. So it does showcase pretty well, but some of those muscle symmetries, some of that balance, where again, you want the most dramatic hourglass, you want that shape to really come through. And sometimes if you're too lean, too depleted, those types of things are not really going to showcase as well. So that's, that class there, folks. That's a nice bikini open class. Congratulations to all the ladies in the video. Just making these to try to give all of you out there better insight in everything you want to focus on, everything you want to do. And that's where we're at. All right. Let me know if you want me to review your competition, your show, your lineup. Send me an email. Drop me a comment. I'll find you. All right. Thanks for watching. Coach Ryan is out.